A retired Russian general, Leonid Ivashov, has delivered a scathing critique of President Vladimir Putin's leadership, particularly targeting the Kremlin's handling of the Ukraine war and its repeated nuclear threats. Ivashov, once a high-ranking figure in Russia's military establishment, has broken ranks in a rare and bold move that underscores growing internal dissent within the Russian elite. His statements are not only a direct challenge to Putin's authority but also a reflection of the deepening cracks in Russia's strategic posture. Ivashov argues that the invasion of Ukraine was a grave strategic miscalculation. He claims it has severely undermined Russia's military capabilities, drained resources, and isolated the country diplomatically. According to him, the war has not achieved any meaningful objectives and instead exposed the Russian army to logistical failures, low morale, and operational fatigue. He paints a picture of a military force stretched thin and struggling to maintain coherence under the weight of prolonged conflict. One of the most provocative elements of Ivashov's critique is his dismissal of Russia's nuclear threats. He mocks the Kremlin's repeated insinuations of nuclear escalation, calling them hollow and counterproductive. In his view, these threats do not intimidate the West, but instead erode Russia's credibility on the global stage. He suggests that such rhetoric is reckless and only serves to deepen Russia's diplomatic isolation while fueling global anxiety. Ivashov also condemns the Kremlin's reliance on propaganda and information control. He accuses the leadership of misleading the Russian public with distorted narratives that glorify aggression and suppress dissent. He warns that this approach is unsustainable and risks alienating not just the international community, but also Russia's own citizens and military personnel. In a striking departure from the official line, Ivashov calls for a negotiated settlement to the conflict. He urges the Russian leadership to abandon its aggressive posture and pursue diplomacy to restore stability and legitimacy. His appeal is grounded in a pragmatic assessment of Russia's deteriorating position and a recognition that continued escalation will only lead to further decline. This public dissent from a respected military figure is highly unusual in Russia's tightly controlled political environment. It signals potential fractures within the establishment and offers a powerful narrative for global leaders to leverage. Ivashov's critique could be used by Western governments to reinforce their support for Ukraine, by neutral nations to justify distancing themselves from Russian alliances, and by opposition voices within Russia to challenge the prevailing narrative. In essence, Ivashov's statements represent a moment of reckoning, a candid admission from within Russia's own ranks that the current path is unsustainable, dangerous, and strategically flawed. His voice adds weight to the growing chorus of concern about the Kremlin's direction and opens the door for intensified global scrutiny and pressure.